What he did is not a typo, folks. That was not a typo. And he knows it. There's those sirens again.
Used from the CARS test.
If he could say those words, that would probably clinch the case for Karen Reed. He's almost like the male version of Jennifer McCabe, wouldn't you say? Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to your favorite show on the internet, Raw Law Unfiltered, with your favorite host, the DUI Guy. Plus, today, folks, today you are going to witness something amazing. You are going to be blown away. Once again, Michael Proctor is still on the witness stand. Slimy, sleazy, nasty, disgusting, and he is getting skewered by none other than Alan Jackson. Folks, it does not get better than this. This is one of my favorite episodes, so let's jump right in. Let's go!
You were responsible for seizing Miss Reed's car, correct?
Yes.
And you originally claimed that that seizure took place at 5:30 p.m. Is that right?
Correct.
You signed numerous affidavits under oath, claiming that you did not seize Miss Reed's vehicle until 5:30 p.m. on January 29, 2020, right?
Correct.
At the time that you seized Miss Reed's vehicle, you were unaware that there was Alarm.com surveillance footage of the area from which the car was.
Oh,
Correct.
The fact of the matter is, that was false. The car was not seized at 5:30, was it?
4:16 p.m.
Right. An hour and change, an hour and 18 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes earlier.
huge.
Yes.
Did you ever seek to change or amend the error, the false statement about the time
So,
received it, seized at any of those documents that you filed under oath?
By the way, for the record, that is beautiful defense work right there. Did you ever seek to correct the false statement that you made in your report? He's stating facts. It was not 5:30. You wrote 5:30. It was actually 4:16, like you just testified 5 seconds ago. Did you ever take any effort? Did you ever make any effort to correct the error, the falsity, the falsehood in your report? The lie is what he wants to say, but it's too early for that. We may get there. Let's keep watching.
when I incorrectly transcribed the times, it was on the first affidavit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Incorrectly transcribed the times. I'm sorry, it was an innocent mistake, counselor. An innocent mistake, please.
David I had written, and then
Look at Karen.
continue to write other search warrants. I use that as a template. So I never caught it on the first one, and that's the reason those times are off on the other affidavits I wrote.
So the first one was false, and then every single one after that was false too.
There was just an incorrect...
And also notice how Alan Jackson is counting on his fingers. He showed about 7. So 7 times. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. The jury saw it and they felt the energy. The 7 that Alan Jackson portrayed to the jury feels like Michael Proctor just kept reiterating the same time over and over and over again. The same wrong time over and over and over again. Very important. Very, very important.
transcription of time.
An incorrect transcription of the time.
Yes.
Call that, I don't know, a Scrivener's error?
Objection.
Ask it differently. Sure. Was it a typo?
Yes.
It was a typo. So you got the 4 wrong, you got the 1 wrong, and you got the 6 wrong. And those turned into 5 and 3 and 0, right?
They were typos, sir.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's good that he kind of broke it down, Alan Jackson did. Oh, it was a typo. Oh, okay. So it's a typo in the entirety of the time. The 4, the 1, and the 6, the 5, the 3, and the 0. It wasn't like a 514 to 414. You know, that would be like, okay, you put the 4 instead of a 5, and then you screwed something up. You know, that would be more akin to a typo. What he did is not a typo, folks. That was not a typo. And he knows it. And now the jury knows it. Everybody in the courtroom, you could see the smiles in the Karen Reed camp, as well as Alan Jackson confirming the same.
The fact of the matter is, you delivered that car to Canton PD, to the Sallyport garage, before a single piece of taillight material was ever found in this case. Trooper Proctor, is that correct?
Correct. It arrives at 5:31.
And you also towed it to the Canton Police Department because that was conveniently close to the location at 34th Ferry, to the crime scene, right?
That was not my decision.
Whose decision was it?
I don't recall. I know that
Oh, you're the case officer.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Who decides?
you do.
It wasn't my decision. I did not make that call, sir.
So who are we pointing the finger at?
Objection.
Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Was it Sergeant Buchanan who made that decision to transport it to Canton?
It's a supervisor's decision. I don't know who it came from.
Lieutenant Tully?
Again, I don't know who it came from.
So you were just following orders?
Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, man. The Nuremberg defense. I was just following orders. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just following orders. This guy.
You are aware that Massachusetts State Police, your agency, actually has not one, but two barracks. One in Middleborough, one in Foxborough, that are both closer as crow flies than the Canton PD Sallyport, from where the car was towed, correct?
Yes.
Both of those facilities were passed by, and the car was ultimately placed at Canton PD Sallyport at 5:31 or so, right?
Yes.
I just can't get over the fact how guilty Michael Proctor just looks on the witness stand. I mean, forget the testimony. That's already incriminating enough for him. The whelp face, the looking down and the puppy dog eyes, the looking down afterwards. Yes. Pay attention to that. I mean, that is huge. Body language gives us away when we're lying. And with him, it is just so clear and so easy to detect. It's like the man doesn't know how to cover up a lie. Now, Brian Albert, different story. If you ever watched Brian Albert's testimony that we did not cover separately on this channel, Brian Albert is an excellent liar. You could tell that he has killed before. This is not his first rodeo. He has covered up lies before. Very, very deep, dark lies. You can tell just by looking at him. Michael Proctor is a bit newer to the game, to the lying and killing and covering up killings game. So he's having a little bit more trouble. And you could tell, I mean, just in this freeze frame, he just looks so defeated. He looks like he just wants his mommy and he wants to go home. He does not want to be in that room. He just needs to go through the motions and he knows it and he wants to get out of there as quickly as possible. This is day 2 of his cross-examination. It started the previous day, for those of you who've been following the series along. And he's just done. He's completely cooked. He just wants his mommy, he wants his bottle, and he wants to go home.
And you're aware that Sallyport is about 3 minutes on 34th Fairview?
Yes.
There it is again. The looking down, the whelp face, because he knows that he could have taken the car to another Sallyport. Instead, he specifically chose the Canton PD Sallyport because why? Allies are there. Allies that can be trusted, that I can use in this cover-up, who are not going to rat me out, who are not going to ask any questions, who are part of this whole ordeal, who are not going to be inquiring, who are not going to be asking any questions.
There it is. Trooper Proctor, you're the lead case officer on this case. That means that you are required to collect and maintain all the videos that were pulled in connection with this investigation, correct?
Correct.
And you obviously are aware of your legal obligation to turn over any and all exculpatory information that you might come in possession of, correct?
Objection.
That's sustained.
You did pull a lot of video in connection with this case, did you not?
Yes.
About 290 videos from the Ring camera located in the driveway at One Meadows. Does that sound about right? I don't expect you to have counted every single one, but just under 300?
Correct.
A ton of them, right?
Yes.
Another 140 videos or so from the front door Ring camera of that same location, One Meadows, right?
Yes.
9 videos from the Waterfall Bar and Grill,
Yes.
8 videos from the Temple Beth
Yes.
facility, 5 videos from CF McCarthy's,
Yes.
4 dash cam videos,
Correct.
2 videos from Canton Town Library,
Correct.
2 videos from Cass's Corner Store, right?
There's those sirens again.
Videos from the cars test on Miss Reed's vehicle, is that right?
Yes.
And 2 videos from the location at 34 Fairview where individuals were using reef blowers.
Correct.
All of those, I did some rough math, 360 odd videos were handed over to the defense in or about June of 2022. Is that your understanding?
Sure.
That's sustained.
They were provided in discovery to the defense ultimately, right?
Okay. Yes.
It sound like, I don't expect you to have the date down pat, but spring of 2022, sound about right? Spring, early summer?
Yes.
All right. But there was additional video surveillance footage that you chose to hold back from that discovery, correct?
Objection.
Did you hold that videos?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, next question.
I'm confused.
There's surveillance video from Canton Police Department's Sallyport garage
Ah.
that wasn't turned over, right?
That video was discovered later on and then handed over.
The first time you revealed the existence of that footage
What?
was in that separate proceeding in February of 2024. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh my God, the FBI investigation. Ah, although he can't say it, although Alan Jackson can't say it. Basically, I mean, this would be the bombshell in this jury trial if you could say it out loud. Basically, the question is this. Mr. Proctor, you withheld Sallyport video from us because you knew we wouldn't suspect that you had it because you didn't turn it over. It's not memorialized anywhere. It's not written anywhere. And it was not until the FBI investigation that you were like, oh, you know what? We might want to turn that over. If he could say those words, that would probably clinch the case for Karen Reed. But unfortunately, you can't say it like that because then the jury will be tainted by the fact that, oh, the feds are on this. Well, clearly Karen Reed is innocent. It's kind of like when you have you're being charged with a third offense DUI. The jury doesn't get to find out it's a third offense until they find your client guilty. They find your client guilty on a first offense because if they knew this is his third rodeo or her third rodeo, they're simply going to go, oh, well, clearly they're guilty. The jury's going to be biased. Why? Because, well, they have a couple of priors. This means they probably did it again. Same thing here. If the FBI is investigating, well, clearly there's something going on, so she's probably innocent. Otherwise, the FBI wouldn't be digging into this. So it's very unfortunate that Alan Jackson cannot ask that question directly as much as he wants to, but he can paint it as close as possible to the jury that you didn't turn that video over until you were kind of forced to do it. Were you? Now, I don't know how much that means to the jury, unfortunately. Maybe we'll find out if we get some interviews from some of the jurors.
You were questioned about it, and you knew you were under oath at the time, correct?
Correct.
And that's when you disclosed, yes, there is Sallyport footage, and I've seen it.
The video I was referencing was the exterior Sallyport camera where you can't make out anything.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. The exterior, you said, exterior, outside,
Correct.
meaning the one of the driveway.
Right.
And you say you can't make anything out.
There's two different ones. There's the main driveway camera, and then there's this exterior Sallyport camera.
What about the interior? I'm confused.
You were asked about this set of videos at that other hearing, right?
Yes.
And you indicated at the time that there was one grainy video, looked sort of mainly black and grainy,
Yes.
and another one showed you and Sergeant Buchanan arriving at Canton PD behind Miss Reed's vehicle on the tow truck. Is that right?
Yes.
You were asked very specifically, are you aware whether there are any cameras in the garage in the Sallyport where Karen Reed's SUV was parked? And your answer was yes. Right? In the garage.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Do you recall being asked that question?
No.
I can repeat it if you wish.
Yeah, please.
Question. Are you aware of whether there are any cameras in the garage or sally port where Karen Reed's SUV was parked? Answer, yes.
Okay.
And then you answered, have you reviewed the video footage of that garage? Answer, I saw one very grainy video and then another of Sergeant Buchanan and I arriving in the main entrance around 5:30 following the vehicle. Period. You remember that answer?
Yes.
That clearly was an answer to the question, did you see video of the interior of the garage?
Objection.
Sustained. Ask it to
But are you answering a question about video inside the garage?
No, I was answering the question about what video I observed, and it was exterior video that I observed.
Although the answer to the question was cameras in the garage or sally port. That's the question.
If I was aware of any.
And your answer was yes. And then the next question is, have you reviewed the footage? And your answer was, I saw one very grainy video, and then another, Sergeant Buchanan and I arriving in the main entrance around 5:30 following the vehicle.
He's having so much trouble answering in open court because he knows he's nailed to the wall. So what he's doing, Mr. Proctor, is he's dragging this out. He's trying to add time and fluff and emptiness to kind of make it seem not as bad as it really is. It's a terrible tactic, but it's the only thing he's got.
Right? And there were testimony.
Yeah, those two videos I'm referring to are the exterior of the building.
Question, when did you watch the video?
And he's, as a narcissist and a manipulator, he's talking about two things at the same time while knowing Alan Jackson is talking about one thing. He knows Alan Jackson is talking about the inside. He's not talking about the outside. But he's like, yeah, the outside. Yeah, the outside of the... No, that's not what I asked you. We're talking about the inside. Oh, the inside. No, I don't remember that. Can you ask? It's like he's just dragging it out to make it seem a lot less than it is. Because if he simply answers like, yes, that's what I said. Yes, that's what happened. Well, then it'll be quick and easy to figure out, wow, this guy is a lying sack of crap. Whereas now it's like, well, he's just really thick. Maybe he didn't understand the question by Mr. Jackson. Well, maybe he wasn't quite clear on the response that he was supposed to give. I mean, that testimony was in February. That was about 4 months ago. Maybe he just doesn't remember. These guys are trained to scramble your brains as the listener. And this is a perfect example of that scrambling at work by Mr. Proctor.
The sally port. Answer, I haven't reviewed it, sir, in quite some time, so I can't recall what's on there. End quote. You remember that?
Yes.
So obviously at the time, in February of 2024, you had that video surveillance, you had that footage for so long that you couldn't remember exactly what was on it because it had been, quote, quite some time. Right?
The exterior sally port camera.
Oh, my God.
Except you weren't asked about the exterior. You were asked, question, when did you watch the video from the sally port? Right? That was the question.
Well, that was the video we had, so that was how I referenced it. That it was the exterior sally port video.
Why didn't you say to the person that's questioning you under oath, I don't know anything about video inside the sally port. I'm referring to outside the building. Why didn't you say that and clarify?
Yeah, I should have clarified it, sir.
Because you'll agree, it sounds a hell of a lot like, an awful lot like, you're talking about what's inside the sally port, right?
Yep.
Objection.
It's fact.
The next question you were asked, why did you review the video of the sally port? Answer, we review every video we pull, and we pull a lot of video.
Needs a sip of water.
I do.
Probably a dry throat from all the lies.
In that testimony. Not one word says exterior, does it?
No, it does not.
There you go.
You testified that you had obtained and reviewed the Sallyport garage video so long ago that you literally couldn't even remember what was on it, right?
Correct.
You did know, however, that if you had video at the Sallyport, it would clearly show that Miss Reed's vehicle arrived 5:30, 5:31, right? You knew that, correct?
Yes, from the driveway camera.
But you withheld that video out of 360 odd videos that you turned over, you withheld that one and never mentioned it until February 2024, correct?
Objection.
Is that true?
I'm not aware of that, withholding that.
What? Then who turned it over, didn't turn it over? Obviously, it wasn't turned over. Again, wishy-washy language. I'm not aware of that. There's a lot of us who work here. Maybe someone else didn't. It's not my job to turn everything over at anyone's request. I mean, this guy may look dumb, but he knows exactly what he's doing. And it's disgusting. I can barely look at this man anymore. I can't wait for this series to finally come to a conclusion so I don't have to look at this egghead anymore. But I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying every second of this doofus trying to wiggle his way out of every question. He's almost like the male version of Jennifer McCabe, wouldn't you say? By the way, speaking of, I also have the Jennifer McCabe series. If you have not checked that out yet, oh my God, that is a doozy.
On April 4th, 2024, it's getting late. On April 4th, 2024, you turned over one video from the interior of the Sallyport garage, correct?
Yes, sir.
The interior, not the exterior, right?
Correct.
And that, remarkably enough, was a grainy video, right?
Yes.
And that video is missing the precise time that that vehicle was delivered to the Sallyport, correct?
Objection.
Was it? I'll allow it.
I don't recall.
It's missing
Oh my God.
2 minutes at the beginning, and it jumps from 5:08 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
What? Why?
Have you reviewed the video?
Yes.
Did you see that the timestamp jumps from 5:08 to 5:50?
Objection.
Sustained.
What? Why? Okay, wait. Hold on. This is a valid question. Did you review the video? Yes. Did you notice that it jumps from 5:08 to 5:50? Objection. Over what? What's the basis? There is no basis.
I'll see it sidebar if you want.
Okay. We're doing a sidebar. Here we go.
You reviewed the video, the grainy video, correct?
Yes.
And that's from a camera perspective that will show, or that does show, the right rear area of the SUV after it's pulled in, correct?
Yes.
Did you note that the time jumps from 5:08 to about 5:50 at the beginning of the video?
Yeah, I observed a jump.
Okay, there we go. Was that so hard? That was a legitimate question. Lally was just blowing smoke. He knows he's got nothing. He knows it hurts his case. And at the sidebar, Jackson won the objection. That is clear, because he asked the exact same question verbatim. And that is a good question.
42 minutes, correct?
Approximately, yes.
You're aware that there's another video from the interior of that Sallyport as well, correct?
Yes.
And you're also aware that, by the way, did you secure that video, the second one? Let me ask you a predicate question, because it's a little confused. The second video from the interior of the Sallyport is inverted, correct?
Yes.
You're now aware of that.
I am.
Did you recover that video?
I did not.
Who did?
Of course not.
I believe...
Oh, so now it's like, who is going to be thrown under the bus? Who is going to be thrown under the bus? Detective, drum roll, please.
Lieutenant Tully received that from the Canton Police Chief.
Tully received it from an unnamed entity, the Canton Police Chief. He does not name him.
I believe so. The Canton Police Chief?
Rafferty?
I believe so.
Who asked for it?
I'm not sure, sir. That was...
Make the request?
I did not.
Welcome to bureaucracy, folks. I received it from Tully, who received it from Rafferty, but we don't know if he's the one who extracted it. And they just punt the ball. Whoever catches it, like, oh, nope. It's like playing a game of hot potato. It's like, nope, oh, not me. Hey, how about you? Yep, nope, not right. Oh.
How did you become aware that a request had been made?
I was made aware that the video had essentially existed from the interior Sallyport area.
By who?
I was probably informed by Detective Lieutenant Tully.
So Lieutenant Tully tells you that a second video exists, correct?
Interior Sallyport cameras, yes.
When did he tell you that?
I don't recall.
Was it weeks ago or years ago?
That was more recent than, maybe a month ago.
Matter of fact, it was after the trial had already started. Mid-April, correct?
I don't recall. I thought it was before.
If it was before, was it weeks before, days before?
I don't recall.
I'm just trying to pin down, are we talking about 6 months ago or are we talking about 6 weeks ago?
It wasn't 6 months ago.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, you were told about the second video from Lieutenant Tull, right?
Yes.
Did he tell you he had already seen it?
I'm sure he watched it.
Did he tell you he needed you to go get it?
Jackson.
I'll allow that.
No.
Okay. So when was the first time you saw it?
A few weeks ago? A month ago?
What were the circumstances in which you saw that video?
Just reviewing the video
Where?
at my desk.
So you pulled it, pardon me, you had access to the video.
Yes.
It was on your system somehow.
It was on thumb drives and a disc.
You put that in your computer and just decided on your own to watch it, correct?
Yes.
And what did you notice?
Well, the SUV being brought into the garage.
You're in the video, right? Yes. That's you toward the back of the truck.
Yep, I'm in the video. Some Canton PD members there as well. Tow truck guy drops the vehicle off. He's in the front driver's seat. Exit. Sergeant Mechanic's there. I believe Chief Berkowitz, the retired police chief.
Where was he?
He was kind of like mulling around the area. I feel like he was towards like the back open garage gate there.
The back
Towards like the rear. Yeah.
where you were.
Yes.
Was he the person, did you note that there were certain individuals that just seemed to apparate out of nowhere, just appear?
Yes, there was one individual in like the top left corner of the video pushing a broom that kind of just appeared.
And also toward the back of the vehicle, somebody just, while you were at the back of the vehicle, just sort of appeared and then walked out sound like one, right?
Yes.
And was that Chief Berkowitz?
Yeah, it looks like him, yes.
Okay. So you and Chief Berkowitz are both toward the rear of the vehicle. He just apparates out of thin air because the video is missing some footage, correct?
It appears that way. Or it skips.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
Or it skips. I don't know that system at all, so.
Okay. And you're holding
It skips.
that same black portfolio that we saw in the hospital.
Yes.
That's a good excuse to deleting footage. The video skips. Sometimes people just appear out of thin air, like the video skips, the video skips. Yeah.
So, anything else you noticed that was odd about the video? Other than the time skips?
The fact that it's inverted, maybe?
So the timestamp at the bottom was inversed. It was like reversed.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, the timestamp on the bottom of it was backwards.
Was it blue?
So instead of reading left to right, it was right to left. Okay. I
Was it blue?
believe it was yellow.
What? Did he watch a different video?
Just followed along.
Yes.
So the
What?
video you saw at a timestamp that was inverted, correct?
Yes.
About the video itself. Is that inverted?
No, from the video I saw, the way the vehicle's brought in relation to the garage and the doors into the PD, it wasn't reversed or inverted.
It was or was not?
It was not.
So as you saw the video, the portion of the vehicle that purported to be the passenger side was in fact the passenger side, and the vehicle, the side of the vehicle that purported to be the driver's side was in fact the driver's.
Yes, so I reviewed video yesterday to
What?
watch it, and the one that I watched had the correct angle was reversed. The car was brought in. Tow truck driver gets out. From the driver's side, it wasn't reversed. The only thing reversed on it was like the timestamp on the bottom.
Did somebody flip the video for him when he was watching it, but didn't do it for the jury? Because the jury watched an inverted video, if you remember Sergeant Buchanan's testimony. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Were you watching video that was produced at this trial?
Yes.
Were you aware that the defense presented a piece of evidence?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
No, he wasn't. He's got to say no.
Where we inverted the video back to the correct.
No, it's not.
Of course not.
That timestamp was inverted.
I was not aware of that.
When did you watch that that video?
Just the other day, I was reviewing it.
Mr. Jackson, we'll take our luncheon.
Oh, wow, folks. Absolutely wow. I mean, this is one of those cases where I am looking at this and I'm going, what on earth is happening here? This guy is such a thickie, but I'm telling you, folks, there is something just barely underneath the surface. He knows exactly what is happening. He knows exactly what he needs to say in order to get away with it. He knows exactly how he needs to approach the situation in order to paint himself and the department and all his buddies in the best possible light. And he's doing it, and he thinks he's getting away with it, and maybe to some jurors he is, but I guarantee you the majority of the jurors and nearly all of the public, other than people who support the police no matter what, under any circumstances, we know who you are. You know who you are. He looks like a slime bag. He looks like a lying bag of you fill in the blank. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed this. We are going to be pausing this series. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot remaining, but this series will probably be concluded at the end of July because we're going to be in New Mexico tomorrow. Chandler is going to be in the courtroom. I'm going to be streaming from the hotel room, and hopefully we'll maybe catch her on camera a few times. Court TV is the one with the cameras inside the courtroom. Tomorrow is pretrial motions in the Alec Baldwin manslaughter case. And we're really excited, folks. Jury selection starts Tuesday. July 8th, pretrial motions. July 9th, jury selection. July 10th, opening statements. Let's go. Bye, everybody.